We recently had some tile installed, or LVP planking they call it now, luxury vinyl planking. And the transition from the tile to the planking, their idea of a transition piece was not acceptable to me. So I decided to make one out of cherry, and then the other one is in the bathroom, and that's made out of hard maple. Let me show you these profiles here so you can see what I had to do to make these. So this is on the hard maple and this is the cherry. But you can see the relief cut is slightly different. This one doesn't have to be quite as deep, and in both directions actually. So what I ended up doing was making this piece thinner, and this one is slightly thicker. This bevel angle is about 14 degrees. 14 degrees on this one. On this one it's about 12. I changed it because at 14 it would have been shorter and steeper. So I changed that angle to lengthen that out a little bit. But that's the way I made them. You know, 2 cuts here, 1 there, and then some hand planing to remove the saw blades. So they're the saw blade cuts. So there's the cherry one, and then let me show you the hard maple. This one's going to get pulled out and stained, by the way, to darken it up and to be more brown to match those tiles. All right, so here's the bathroom one. They both turned out really nice. I'm real happy with them. So let me show you how I made them. Okay, so the first critical measurement I need is the change in height from this tile floor to the LVP. And I'm using this homemade depth gauge I made a while back, and I'm just setting it on the LVP and letting this drop down to the tile. And that will be my depth of cut right there. Now, as far back as I go is going to be determined by this measurement right here, because I'm matching this door jamb width. It's going to be from there to this cut point. You can see that even the guys that installed this door gave themselves a little extra room there. I'm going to give myself about 1/2 inch. That'll give me a room to make sure I get this end flush along with the other end. So that's where I'm going to start, right there with that measurement. All right, I'm going to use I'm just going to go approximately here. I'm going to use this as my guide to find out what the table saw blade angle is going to be. About halfway is about there, I'm guessing. I was a little off right out here. Not that this is that critical, but there's halfway, 2 1/4 inches. So from here to there, and this will be the waist side here. So let me figure out what that angle is. I'll set my table saw blade and we'll make this cut. Alright, it's just shy of 14 degrees. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go with it anyway. And make sure that I've got enough of that workpiece sitting on the table. I do not have any support by the blade here. But I do have, I've got plenty of support here and here, so you just have to be cognizant of that. So that when I get to that point, that I don't push down, I'm pushing it through and holding it down out here. Well, I got a little smoke, but it turned out all right. I didn't quite make that bevel all the way through, but that's okay. I can finish that off with a hand plane. You can get pretty aggressive here to start. This isn't taking too much at all to get this flushed up. Let's see some of the saw marks here. Alright, I'll keep at this until I get this shaped the way I want. Right, it didn't take too much longer to get that face nice and smooth. Maybe another 5 to 6 minutes is all. Now I'm just taking and putting a bevel on this edge. This is my third pass here. I think that should be good enough. Get that with a little sandpaper. And my sanding block. There it is. And then this edge, I'm just gonna skim this. Just to break that over. Yeah, that's nice. Now we'll do the same thing on this side. All right. Just put a little softness on that edge right there. and it's pretty good to go. I got to figure out my length. I think it's about 60 inches, 60 and 1/2 inch. I've got 63. So I'm gonna make a story stick and then come down here and cut this. All right, good news and bad news. I made my story stick and it was pretty much right on the money at 60 and 1/2. But I've got on one side of that door jamb, I've got a slight angle. So I took my bevel square up there and it's kind of a little wobbly, I guess, but this is the best I could come up with, and it ends up being about 3 degrees. Now I've set my saw down and I made a little tick mark here, drew my line, and then lined my blade up the best I could with that line. Now the thing to do is figure the length, and at 60 and 1/2, and the other end is pretty square. I'm about a blade's width long. So I'm gonna split the difference. I'm gonna just kind of cover that line and then do a test fit to check the angle and as well as to check the length. I'm going to set my stop here and we'll give this a shot. Alright, if it fits, I'll show you the results. If it doesn't, I'll massage it and then I'll show you. I'll let you know what happens here. There it is. It's nice. Once that gets nailed down, well, not nails, a couple of screws. Maybe just one right in the middle is all it's going to take. Hold that center down. It's got that board has got a little bow in it, so the ends will stay tight. If I just put a screw in the middle and countersink it and plug it, and it'll be nice. I get the boss's approval when she gets home, hopefully. This is the side that had the taper on it, and that ended up really nice. And what happened, I didn't realize this until I got going, but I was at 60 and 1/2 about, in the middle here. And so as you're coming in, obviously this is going to get shorter. So it took me 3 trips to get it dialed in, but I each time taken about a 1/2 blade off the miter, and then the other side here is nice and tight as well. So it gives that illusion of it being perfectly square on both ends, even though we know that this end is not square, but it looks good. Okay, I'll do the same thing with the other one. That one's like 32, yeah, 32 inches wide for that bathroom door. So this just proves to me that I can do it and make it look nice. I didn't like what the flooring company offered to transition this. It looked cheesy. So I told them, never mind, even though I basically paid to have it done, I wasn't going to pay for something when I could do this. Okay, so here's the cherry one, stained and in place, and I decided to just do 3 screws, leave them exposed, so 1 in the center, 2 from each end, 12 inches in, and that's good. And the reason I'm leaving them exposed is because down the road, if you want to replace the flooring, you're going to want to pull those screws, and this is just easy to do it this way. And then let me show you the other one. So this got stained a dark cherry stain. I like the color because it goes with the table and chairs I built, and also the hutch and the kitchen cabinets. So that's that hard maple. I ended up staining that a gray to match the floor somewhat. We've got gray grout in the bathroom, and that picks up on that as well. And then this one I just used 2 screws, and I like the transition it makes now from the LVP to the tile in both situations. So thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas to everyone.